So hello and welcome students, faculty, and esteemed guests to another guest lecture session at Hospitality Academy. I'm Kimberly, I'm your academic advisor, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. Today's guest lecture is not just about sustainability, it's about unveiling the truth and cutting through the green haze, if you will. We have none the other the incredible Mohammad Shaaban, an associate professor of hospitality management and a certified hospitality department trainer. Mohammad, how are you today?
Fine, everything's fine, and I hope that we are, genuinely sustainable, not performing any greenwashing for the day.
Yes, very good. Okay, without further ado, Mohammed, you may start. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Today, inshallah, we're going to talk about greenwashing. So let's start directly into action and let's see, those two photos. So, here we have two photos. With which one of them do you feel comfortable, and which one of them makes you feel intimidated? You are free to open your mic and express yourself. You are open. You are, okay to raise your hand. So here we have two photos. Which of them would you like to? That represents yourself more. So the one to the top left or the one to the bottom right.
So
So
here
if
you
you
can
wish,
you can write in the chat if it's the first one here or the second one.
so if you notice, in the one to the right, in the one with the white background, there is someone with a green heart, but still, unfortunately, Sandra says one to the left. She is feeling comfortable maybe with the one to the left. You are absolutely right, Sandra, top right. Maybe for me, it's my top left. But Ashley is saying she is less comfortable with right. You are absolutely right. He is getting a new mobile, which is a green mobile. But in order to get this new mobile, he threw two old mobiles in the lake. That's irrational waste management. He is harming the habitat, and at the same time, this businesswoman who is giving him this new mobile, she is holding, she is painting green, but at the same time, as we see here, we have some smug. Then from this photo, as you said, as you expressed yourselves, we have a case of greenwash detected. We have here a case of greenwash detected. So in order to delve more into the meaning of greenwash, let's see the next slide. Greenwashing in tourism and hospitality means or refers to the deceptive. Again, this word, the deceptive. Deceptive, it means you are doing that on intention. You are doing that intentionally. You are doing that in order to mislead the customer, in order to mislead the government, in order to mislead the industry. So it's not made by mistake. You are doing that on purpose. The deceptive practice of marketing a business as being sustainable, as being green, as being eco-friendly, environmentally friendly, while in fact you are not sustainable at all. On the contrast, you might be even causing harm to the environment. So we have now greenwashing, and at the same time we have genuine sustainability. So in order, or in contrast to greenwashing, and in order to overcome greenwashing, we should have green sustainability in place. Green sustainability efforts are thus crucial to in the tourism industry in order to overcome the negative impact on the environment and on the society. 1 minute. Did I just say negative impact? Do tourism and hospitality have a negative impact? That what we are going to see later on. Then let's go back in action. I would like you to express yourself. How do you perceive greenwashing? How do you perceive greenwashing? Now we will have a poll, all of us, in order to express ourselves, and then we are going to discuss the results. So is it a negative, unethical practice that must be prohibited? It is negative, but it's not that much unethical. It's just one kind of propaganda. Or I think it's better than no sustainability at all. I'm waiting for your results.
So 50% of us said a negative, unethical practice that must be prohibited. 29 said it is a negative. It is negative, but not that much unethical. It's just another kind of propaganda. And 21% of us said, I think it is better than no sustainability at all.
So the majority view goes to that greenwashing is a negative. It's not only negative, but it's also unethical, and it must be prohibited. Yes, you are absolutely right, and this is the case when when you are doing something that is harmful to the environment, when you are hiding, like environmental crime, or that you are hiding that you are throwing garbage or wastes or pollutant waste to the environment, then it must be prohibited, and the one doing greenwash must be even punished. And those for those who have chosen B, yes, it is not that much unethical, but still you might be deceiving the customer. I mean, even if you are not, hiding a crime, you are not hiding something illegal or something unethical, but at the end you are deceiving the customer, and it will fire back at you at some point. So let's move to the next action. So also a question that we are going to see why we are asking that question. Do tourism and hospitality negatively impact the environment and societies? Do tourism and hospitality negatively impact the environment and society? Of course, we all know that tourism and hospitality, are good. But still, do they have negative impacts? Yes or no? And if yes, please, would you like to write something in the chat section so that we can see together, your opinions? By wasting a lot all the time and affecting beaches and natural round. Very good. Massification. Thanks, Sandra. Animal cruelty. You are absolutely right. And there are two examples of that. Tourism impacts culture by changing them. Exactly, culture. Negative Hussein, even in the environment, society, and sometimes in the economy. Yes. Hussein tackled the three pillars of sustainability that we're going to see later on.
87% of us said yes, and 13 said no.
So you are for the even for the 13 who said no, still maybe you are thinking of the positive impact that tourism and hospitality bears or provides to the society. You are absolutely right, but still there might be some negative impacts that almost all of you expressed. So we have the erosion of beaches, and we have habitat destruction. We are having a degradation of the flora and fauna. We are generating a lot of waste, especially the electronic waste, the plastic, the food waste. We are also depleting our resources. And when we are talking about resource depletion, it's not only environmentally, it is also economically, because if we kept depleting our resources in terms of water, in terms of wood, in terms of any natural resource, fossil fuel, or so on, then the future generations will not find something for their own livelihood, and also socially. So now we know that tourism and hospitality have some negative impacts on the environment, on the society, and even on culture and economy. So why do we need to know about this? Since you as an industry have, negative impact, you must be genuinely sustainable. On the other hand, there are some companies, some destinations who deceptively claim that they are sustainable, but they are not. They practice greenwashing. So greenwashing is an intentional bad way, let us say that, in order to hide the negative impacts of tourism. Instead of the genuine or the authentic desire and effort in order to overcome the negative impact. No, I am keeping those negative impacts as they are, while I am just greenwashing my negative impacts. So another question before moving to practices of greenwashing. Have you ever identified or experienced greenwashing before? I mean, there's another question. If you wish also to contribute to us, have you seen or experienced greenwashing practices before? I mean, while you were working in some place, while you were having some training or so on, have you seen or have you identified any greenwashing practice before? Any fake or any deceptive practice?
So 78% of us said yes, and 22% of us said no.
So for those 78, congratulations that you have noticed some of them. I wish even at any time, I mean, in the master class, if you can just raise your hand or just, I mean, open your mic or just write in the chat section what kind of greenwashing that you have detected. And while you are doing that, while you are writing, while you are expressing yourself, let's see some signs of greenwashing. We might have many signs of greenwashing, but those are the most known four of them. So first, number one, misleading eco-friendly claims. Maybe comes and say, "Do you know that I have saved 1,001 million kilowatts of electricity, and I have saved or prevented 200 tons of carbon emissions? You know all of this because I have applied the OOO triple H way of saving energy, of energy efficiency, and so on." Then someone might ask, what is that OOO triple H? I mean, super tool that you used in order to save energy? I mean, please let us know. The point is, I mean, you are saying something vague, something that cannot be verified, something just, I mean, that are just saying something that no one can identify in order to keep it a secret, which is not a secret. You are doing that deliberately in order to greenwash that you are not saving energy at all. And the second thing, exaggerated or false certification. I mean, thanks all. I mean, I would like to tell you all that I have gained certification from OOO Triple H association that is called Love for the Environment and Affection for the Water and the Climate and so on. So, I mean, what is that certificate? Yes, it's OOO Triple H. I mean, do we have a single I mean certificate that is called OOO Triple H? Yes. I know this. This is fake certification, or it might be some certification from a local or from some private association claiming that they are sustainable, or they have made themselves so in order to gain some money, in order to issue, some certificates, and we will keep seeing that forever. So, I mean, we are having, I mean, significance of certifications while they are not that much important. Another green distraction. I will give you an example. Do you know that in my restaurant, all my food are organic food, and they are resourced. They are sourced from the most clean farm, organic farm all over the world. Really, 100% organic. Yes, 100% organic. So what is the farm from which you bring your organic food? It is some very clean farm in the North Pole, up there in the North Pole. And so, I mean, and how you bring it from the North Pole? I import it by flight. So this is called distraction. You are causing, I mean, a lot of carbon emissions. You are causing a lot of carbon footprint, but you are trying to distract, I mean, attention that, okay, I'm using organic food, or that I am using LED lights that are energy efficient, while at the same time you are leaving the lights open inside your operations and so on. So that's also a third way to identify greenwashing. And number four, and the last one for here, greenwashing ad campaigns. Like, I mean, you might have a certification in a specific point or in a specific aspect of your operation. You might have, I have lead a certification only in greenwashing. Hotels required recycling in rooms and throughout. I can maybe you can read that. I see a message that just. So Kimberly, can you please read that?
Yeah, sure. I think these are examples of what they've experienced in terms of greenwashing. So Katrina said that greenwashing or Coca-Cola is misleading customers by using 100% recycled or recyclable labels on their bottles, for example. Another one says that hotels, this was me, I've experienced this, where hotels require you to recycle in your hotel room, or they have the two bins, right? But in reality, they're putting both of the recycled and the trash bins into the same big bin, and they're not actually practicing the recycling methods that they're encouraging their clients to use.
Those are also. This is called green. We can classify those under green distraction. That you are distracting the guests from the bad or from the misbehavior that you are doing by covering it by something else. So those are all greenwashing practices that we should be alert to. So then, we saw before, we have G, which is greenwashing, and we have G, which is genuine sustainability. I mean, those two must be always into effect. So, in order to understand the importance of genuine sustainability efforts, we have positive environmental impact, natural reserves, natural resources, prevention of erosion on shores. And still, well, when you do that, you gain the trust of the customer, you gain the trust of the locals. You cannot operate in a destination without gaining the respect and without gaining the support of the locals. You must not, distract, you must not destroy their social norms and their social bonds and the culture and their religious beliefs. So you are building trust and credibility, not only with the consumers as it here, but also with the community, with the government. And finally, when you do both of that, you are applying the corporate social responsibility. You are genuinely sustainable and you are committed to ethical and responsible business operations. And here, when it comes to responsible, I admired one of the comments about the like animal health. Do you know that there were and there might be still done some places in which irresponsible dealing with animals and birds. Do you know the foie gras? The foie gras, which is the liver of the goose, that sometimes they bring the goose and they put a tube into their throat that it goes directly to their stomach, and they force feed the goose over and over, many times per day, until the liver is bigger than usual, until the liver is fatter than usual. Of course, this is unhealthy for the goose itself. The goose might feel pain because of that, but you are doing that in order to gain, higher productivity from the liver, and you are selling that for the same price. Another thing, we all know that veal meat is more expensive than normal meat because you slaughter the veal while it's younger than normal calf. Some farmers in some irresponsible farms, they started to bring the veal calves, the animal itself, and they put it into crates like plastic containers that are just, to the size exactly of the animal, so that the animal cannot move right or left. He just eats and drinks all the day, and he is deprived from the sun. He is always into shade, and then he is not allowed to move. He's not allowed to run like each normal animal. Because of that, he has anemia. He's suffering from hemoglobin. Lack of hemoglobin. He is not developing any muscle at all. That's why the flesh of the old veal, of the old calf, of the old animal, looks like veal. It is pale and it is tender because there are no muscles. But at the same time, we are not raising the animal in a healthy way. So I liked this comment so much because it makes me feel that you understand what we are talking about. So in order to be sustainably genuine, you must make sure that we are going through sustainability efforts that align with sustainable development goals. Of course, sustainable development goals is something that is initiated, something wonderful that is initiated by the United Nations. So that when we are talking about water conservation, it goes with clean water and sanitation. When we are talking about sustainable building and design, it goes with sustainable cities and communities and so on. So you must make sure that each sustainability effort that you are making goes in line with or matches one of those goals or any of those sub goals. But of course, this is a long story that you might need to read on your own. Finally, or before finally, in your opinion, how best to avoid greenwashing practices? How best to avoid greenwashing practices? So, in order to answer that question, and still I would like you to maybe to add something in the chat if you wish. In order to avoid greenwashing practices, we must think of sustainability as a pyramid or as a building with three pillars, which is economy, society, and environment. Sometimes sustainability is misunderstood as being only environment or biophysical environment, which is not. So, we must take care of the economy. We must make sure that we are generating enough jobs and that the locals and nationals only are getting those jobs. We have to make sure that we are sourcing our products from local suppliers and that those local suppliers are owned by the locals. We must be encouraging the micro and small and medium-sized establishments and entrepreneurial initiatives that stem from the locals themselves. That's for the economy. For the social, we must respect the culture, the heritage. The social norms and the social bonds and the family bonds in the society. We must also respect the religious beliefs. If you are going to initiate tourism activity in a conservative village or in a conservative city or a city that is not that much used to tourism, you must do that gradually so that this new activity is not culturally distant from the community. And we have seen the problems or some issues that happened in Barcelona, where the locals kept walking in the streets, telling tourists to leave, that you are causing the city to be dirty and this and that. We have seen that also in many other cities around the world. Liverpool has been taken off the UNESCO heritage list because of the man-made civilization that destroyed the heritage print of the city. Liverpool is now out of the UNESCO, unfortunately, heritage list. And finally, the environment. Of course, the environment, the biophysical environment, like what you said, energy efficiency, protecting beaches from erosion, the habitat, the flora and fauna, energy efficiency, water conservation, climate actions, and so on. So while we are doing that, who pays? Who pays for the room? Who pays for the meal? Who pays for the flight? The consumer. Then we must not forget about the consumer. And when it comes to the consumer, we should do many things. But I would like to classify those many things under two main streams. The first stream is to educate the consumer and let him know the difference between the genuine hospitality and between the greenwashing, so that if he is an activist, if he is conscious about the environment, he would go directly to the genuine hospitality, genuine sustainability offers rather than to the greenwashing. Also, we must, make the customer conscious about the environmental or the sustainable alternatives. So, maybe you might not wash the linen every day if you wish. Maybe you can ask us for water only when you need. Maybe you can ask us for this and that when you need. So, we have to, maybe please, do you mind to use, glasses instead of one-use plastics and so on. So that's what we mean by educating the consumer himself. So we have to educate the consumer to know the difference between the genuine sustainability and the greenwashing. And the second thing, to convince the consumer that sustainable alternatives and sustainable offers are much better for him on the long run than non-sustainable ones. So, final conclusion, and more important than the conclusion, is the call to action. Call to action for each one of us. Educational initiatives. We must focus on education and awareness campaigns, like in the Hospitality Academy. I'm sure that I have seen their study plans in all their programs. I mean, they assure the importance of sustainability, like in schools, in primary schools, in KG, in kindergartens, in all kinds where there is an opportunity to educate someone or to train someone, sustainability must be there somehow. The second thing is that we should be working with all stakeholders in the industry. Like we have to encourage collaboration with suppliers, with industry associations, with environmental associations that care about the environment, or maybe also about governmental non-for-profit associations, in order to, I mean, raise our sustainability standards, and in order to make sustainability not something, how can I say it, not something luxury. I mean, it should be a working habit in our daily lives. And finally, policy changes. Policy changes is very important because usually when we think of policy setting, we always think of like imposing regulations and rules and laws and legislations and fines for those who do not conform to the rules. But on the other hand, we must be, as a government or policy makers, we must support and we must help financially or in terms of licensing and so on, those businesses that are sustainable, and maybe even market for them. Do you know that on Visit Dubai, of course we all know Dubai, the formal website for the Dubai tourism department is visitdubai.com or visitdubai.ae. I don't remember. I mean, it's just Visit Dubai. When you go to Visit Dubai, you will find one of the links, the top 10 sustainable hotels in Dubai, the top 15 sustainable restaurants in Dubai. That's what I'm talking about in policy changes. I'm not only imposing fines and punishments on those who make greenwashing, but also I am supporting and even marketing for sustainable hotels and sustainable restaurants and maybe sustainable tour agencies on my own website. There is an internationally known tour agency which is called TUI, TUI, and it started in Germany. In 2015, they have made a very good strategy, which is called Better Holiday, Better Life, and they have made a goal of 10 million sustainable tours and so on. So, I mean, the point is we must, as policy makers, to not only to punish, I mean, the bad doer, but also to support and help and even market and celebrate the good performers. So, I mean, that's, I mean, for me for now, and I would be glad if you can, I mean, add, and now the floor is yours to both ask any question, and at the same time, if you would like to add any action that you would like to suggest in terms of education initiatives, industry collaboration, or policy change, what would you suggest? What would you like to ask? Now the floor is yours.
I have one question for you, Mohammed, that someone had sent
Yes.
me. She asked, can you be sustainable and cheap at the same time? Isn't sustainability expensive?
Yes, actually, this might need another, I mean, class about the challenges of being sustainable. Absolutely, you are totally right. I mean, being sustainable is expensive in the short run, but over the long run, maybe and this long run might not be decades, might not be years, it might be months. And I have read researches and papers about that I mean you could have made savings just in 2 quarters, I mean, which is 6 months. So yes, absolutely, it requires huge investments, larger investments than if you are not sustainable. In order to buy recyclable products, I mean, products that can be recycled in order to buy specific taps, specific kinds of lighting, a specific kind of even of painting for the walls that is what's called VOC free, volatile organic materials. That I mean, your painting and your decoration must be free from that. So I mean, of course, yes, it is more expensive on the short run in the in the how can I say it, in the initial investment cost, but over the long run, for sure, if you are genuine, you will achieve savings.
Great, thank you. There's another question is, are there any emerging technologies or trends that are particularly promising for advancing sustainability in hospitality?
Yes, of course, there are many of them. Like we can go as deep as you wish. You know that even in the kitchens that are having large production pattern, in order to thaw a large amount of meat, of chicken, or so on, you might need to run water over them, and this is water waste. While there are nowadays something which is called aerated thawing, which is like a container which produces hot air to flow around the frozen bulk of food or so on, in order to make it thaw within just 4 or 5 or even 6 minutes. It can be brought from minus 18 to 2 or 3 Celsius in just 5 or 6 minutes, making it ready directly for cooking without the use of any running water. Also, it's better when we are talking about water boilers in hotels. It's better to use tankless water boilers. We have water boilers that are that save, or that not save, sorry, that put hot water into tanks, and then the guests use or consume water or draw water from those tanks. But now it's better to use tankless water heaters, where water just flows into pipes, and those pipes are heated, so that water is heated instantly without the need to be saved into large containers. Because when you save water into large containers, they will lose the temperature over time. And also there is something in building which is called solar design. That you make best use of the sun when the sun rises and when the sun sets at the end of the day, in order to make best use of the sun when it is hard, when the rays are direct, for solar panels. And for the rest of the building, you are having a lot of glass windows that of course double glazed, in order to allow for much light. So there are so many inventions, we should be grateful for those inventions that can save energy and save water and so on. So I saw like a question that was written while I was talking. What is that?
Yeah, it says, would you say that a B Corp certified company is a true demonstration of positive sustainability?
B Corp?
Yes.
Yes, I think I heard about B Corp, and the point is, if maybe I know personally I know about B Corp, but it depends on the how can I say, the association that has issued that certification. Let's give you an example. When I was talking about TUI, the international tour operator. This international tour operator, when they decided to go sustainable, they said, we are not going to deal with any hotel. We are not going to deal with any hotel unless they are certified by a sustainability certification that comes from the GSTC, Global Sustainable Tourism Council. Global Sustainable Tourism Council produces so many certifications that are well known, like Green Globe, like so many other things. And of course, we have the LEED, which is for physical buildings, and we have the Energy Star for energy. and B Corp is maybe one of them. Maybe I don't want to go further in information, that technical information that I might not know about. But for sure, maybe if we went through the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, when we go to the part of certifications, which is communication, we might have a list of certified certification bodies that we should trust.
Great, thank you. We have another question from Katrina who says, what steps can we as consumers take to avoid supporting businesses that engage in greenwashing?
First of all, if you felt like, for example, like you are on a trip and they serve you in plastics while they say that we are green and so on, then you should report that. Maybe you should report that maybe on like TripAdvisor on or any similar platform that enables you the opportunity to say your opinion. Also, you can you can express that on your own social media or on their own social media. That I have seen you using a lot of packaging that is and which is bad to the environment. It's better that you can use China ware or whatever, or reusable plastic ware that can be used again and that can be washed sustainably, of course, and then reused. Then you have to express yourself. And when you first use, when you are making a flight, you should be choosing the flight as much as possible with the least carbon emissions. When you are choosing a hotel, if you are really, caring about the environment, you can go to the sustainability effort of that chain. If it is this hotel, it belongs to, I don't want to say a specific chain, let's say Shaaban chain. You should go to their sustainability report. All hotel chains, they should have something which is called sustainability report, in which they write what are their sustainability actions over the previous year or over the previous quarter or so on. And from reading that or from scanning that, you can have an idea about if they are genuine or not. Also, if it's better if you can go to a place that uses that. If I am in Saudi Arabia, I would better go to places that uses tea sockets that are made in Saudi Arabia, rather than that are imported from any other country. If I am in Spain, I would like to have hacinado with chocolate instead of something which is made in Spain, rather than to buy something else that is imported from outside, and so on and so that. So you must it's better that you can make sure or directly ask, are you using local products or not? Of course, you might not be able as a normal consumer to do all of that, but as much as possible, you should try to do those little investigations.
Great, thank you. Someone said, I think that the issue is a triangle with 3 pillars: hotels, employees, and the consumer. I think it was just a comment.
So this one
Yeah.
you mean?
Yes.
So would you please, repeat the question again?
No, he's saying that he thinks the issue is like with 3 pillars. It goes with the hotel, then the employees, and the consumer.
Of course, it's important to raise the awareness of the employees themselves, but usually, of course, the consumers. I have made, as you saw in here, like a separate slide for the consumers, because they are the ones they pay and they can set the trend. Employees, they can, consumers, they are trend setters, and we are working for them. And as for employees, maybe they can be included into the economic and into the social, because when we are being sustainable for them, they would feel, okay, when the local employee feels that I am training him as a local, and I am taking care of him, and I'm providing him with job security, and I'm providing him with promotion opportunities, and I'm favoring him to the foreigner as much as possible, of course, and that I'm trying to not to ruin his social norms and his religious beliefs and his culture, and his heritage and his monuments and so on. And I'm not overtaking, I mean, that me as a hotel or all resorts, we are not overtaking all the public beaches for our own service. Then the employee himself would be the first one to defend me. The employee would be the first one to be sustainable, because he sees by his own eyes that sustainability works. It worked first for him. It works first for his family, that he can now earn money to, I mean, to help them, to sustain them. I mean that in order to, like, I mean, how can I say that employees we should deal with employees as internal customers. We should deal with them as importantly as we deal with customers, because they are the ones, I mean, who are setting all of those pillars up.
We have another question. Is greenwashing becoming more common or less common?
Unfortunately, with the trend of, especially after COVID-19, people started to, how can I say it, to appreciate sustainability, to appreciate when they started to see that beaches are cleaner, that they are not anymore, smelling or breathing cars exhaust and so on. They started to appreciate sustainability, and as a result of that, we started to see many associations claiming that they are environmental friendly, and they start giving certifications or some certificates or some praising to this or that restaurant or so on. So it will start unless there are regulations, unless we have, you know, those three actions, and which is educational initiatives. And when we have those educational initiatives, all people will now be aware about greenwashing. Then, as you said, and as some of you said, don't clean towels, you might not to need to clean towels or linen every day. But at the same time, I see you opening all lights, turning on all lights inside and outside, even during the daylight. Then I know that you are doing greenwashing. Then if I ask you to do that, if I started writing this on social media and mentioning the hotel, then greenwashing will decline. And also, what would make greenwashing decline is collaborating with the industry, is making sure that suppliers understand what our needs are, so that suppliers, their own, they will change. Even dealing ethically with labor, even giving labor the social security. It shouldn't be only us as hotels. We shouldn't be dealing with suppliers unless we make sure they are fully sustainable, not only in environment, but also in ethical labor and in policy changes. If we do not have those three, I do not guarantee that greenwashing will be declining. It's like any other negative practice. If there is no control, both from the people and from the authorities, it will go to the rise. That's why I called this part conclusion and call to action, because the action starts from each one of us.
Good. Thank you so much. Well, that's all the time we have for today. What an incredible exchange of knowledge. I want to express my deepest gratitude to Professor Mohammad Shaaban for sharing his expertise today. Not only we've uncovered the secrets of greenwashing, everything behind it, right? We've also gained valuable insights into how we, right, as future hospitality professionals or the students, right, how we can contribute to a more sustainable industry. So thank you so much for that. I encourage each of you to reflect on what you've learned today and carry these insights into your future endeavors. Sustainability is not just a checkbox, right? It's a mindset, it's a commitment to the planet and to our future generations. So thank you all for being a part of this enriching experience today. Let's continue to learn, grow, and make a positive impact on the world of hospitality by making it more sustainable. Again, thank you so much, Mohammad, for being our guest lecturer today. Everyone is saying in the chat for many thanks for the informative session. And everyone, I hope you have a great day ahead and join us next month for our next guest lecture. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kimberly, for your support during the previous period, and thanks so much for the attendees and for their, valuable insights and valuable inputs. It really helped me and inspired me a lot to open many ideas while I was talking. Thanks so much for being with me today.
Yeah,
I hope we can meet.
Of course. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. And yeah, thank you again, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.